Welcome back to Waterlogged. You might recognize today's speaker as our aquatics coordinator, but what you might not realize is he has a vast amount of experience in a whole bunch of different areas in aquatics, from competitive lifeguarding to water polo to competitive swimming. Thank you, Ian Olmstead, for sharing your story today.
Hey, my name is Ian Olmstead. I would like to talk about how aquatics has affected me, just for a little bit. I promise I won't take too long. And don't worry, I'm off duty right now, so everybody's going to be okay. So, I am somebody who's been a lifeguard and instructor for 12 years, first aid instructor and examiner for 9 years, NL instructor for a year, national lifeguard. I've done a few years of swim team, competitive swim team, played water polo for a couple of years at school, and had a lot of fun performing in these lifeguard or life-saving competitions that were hugely important in how I set myself up for success throughout my years of lifeguarding. So I don't think I can really see myself doing anything else, having done this for so long. Aquatics is such a big part of my life that people just know me as the aquatics guy now, as the guy who teaches first aid, and I think that's really cool and really strong background to have. Just knowing how these skills that I've been able to develop carry over to the rest of my life, and knowing that I can help somebody if they need it. So I think one of the best things that you can do as a lifeguard is try for these life-saving competitions. They're a lot of fun. I did them for a couple of years and got to travel all over, meet lots of people, and become a leader within the field. You practice these skills actively way more than people would normally do. Generally, you have your trainings, but we would practice a couple times a week, and then we would go to competitions. And these competitions were all over the place. I got to travel to Winnipeg. I got to travel to BC once, which was a lot of fun. But we did our finals, our national finals in Winnipeg. My coach, he went on to New Zealand to do the international competitions, and unfortunately Canada didn't win. Australia and New Zealand are really, really good, but we did represent well, or at least our club did. So I was part of the Mississauga Life-Saving Club. We operated for 6 years. I participated for 3 of them as a vice president, and we got to go basically on these road trips with your friends and coworkers, and just have a blast while you're testing your skills and your limits. And so there would be waterfront competitions where you're out in the sun all day, and you're having fun in the sand with your friends. And then there were the indoor competitions. Those ones I really liked because a little more variety as to what you could do. Usually these competitions would have themes. And so I know the one in Waterloo, the provincial championships, it was really cool. It was Oktoberfest at the time, and so we got to have these competitions or these events that were surrounding other events going on within Waterloo. So there was one event, and this is something that every competition had, your general first aid event, and this would happen in a pool or elsewhere. And so in Waterloo, we were on a bus, we were blindfolded, and we were driven around a parking lot, but the whole thing was to simulate, we crash and we have to save people on the bus, as well as save the people who have been injured in the nearby marathon. And so you get generally 4 minutes, and you have a teammate or teammates, generally a team of 4, and you have a leader guard who keeps his head up throughout the entire thing, and usually deals with more minor victims. And then the rest of our team is scouting every possible corner of our scenario and treating as many people as we can. And so these victims would have a judge associated with them with a scorecard. And so we, as a Mississauga Life Saving Club, had a few teams. The more teams you have, the more likely you are to get more points, and the more likely you are to win as a club for these competitions. And so I think the most fun I had was in, where was this? This might have been Waterloo as well. This was just before the finals, where we got to have our event at a paintball stadium. And so you were essentially medic, going around saving people and getting scored on it. You know, we've done anything from that to trying to treat a spinal victim in a giant bouncing castle. It's not that easy. And so you can tell that there's a lot of information put into these, or imagination put into these events. And I have to tip my hat to all the people who were involved, from the Red Cross to Life Saving Society. They put a lot of time and effort into setting these competitions up, you know, almost every 3 weeks, almost every 2 weeks. And that was a lot of time out of everyone's day and everyone's weekends. And that just goes to show how passionate these people were about it. And that's part of what made it so great, is that everyone in the sport was so dedicated to developing themselves, being successful, but at the same time being a great influence for those around them, and just having a lot of fun. I mean, what's the point if you're not having fun? And we definitely did. At the end of the competitions, everybody gets to have dinner and go through the awards together, and you get to meet a lot of different people, aside from the people you are going on these road trips with. And I think it's helped me the most with just generally confidence around the workplace and being able to be a better resource for those around me. I know within the first year, my skills shot through the roof. I knew my first aid way better than I had before. You know, it's set me up for success. And I think anything you can do that will help is something that you should do. And if you can participate in these games, then go for it. They're a lot of fun. I think aquatics is something that is good for a lot of people. I don't know if there's as much room for improvement and growth in other industries as there is in aquatics. I can't imagine being in another place and not having so much room to grow. Like, you're always improving. Every day there's something that you can practice or clean up or learn. And yeah, I think aquatics is going to continue to be a really big part of my life for a long time, and I'm okay with that. I have a lot of fun. So I hope this helps, and if this can inspire somebody to become a lifeguard, or at least try to develop themselves professionally, then I'm happy. And thanks for taking the time to listen, and have a great day.